the hell out the way and make sure the supplies that are coming in come in. Go out there and write some checks and do some appraisals and get out the way.
People, FEMA staff, volunteers, the private sector that are working side by side with local officials to go out and help people.
Funny, most of the people I've talked to haven't seen you side by side anybody. See, but they can go on the news in New York City or Atlanta or Washington, wherever, Slappadopoulos studio is. You can go up there. It's very comfortable. It's not demoralizing. You can lie with impunity. No one's going to call you on it, especially not Georgie.
I need to make sure I can get the resources to where they're needed. And when you have this dangerous rhetoric like you're hearing, it creates fear in our own employees. We need to make sure.
Lady, nobody gives a shit about your employees. And if these people are afraid because people are being pissed off and Big Bad Orange Man said something bad, then you got the wrong damn employees and you shouldn't have these DEI hires. Are you seriously going to tell me that men feel fear? Their nipples get sore or something? What the hell are you talking about they feel fear? These people are starving and dying and you're sitting here talking about your employees. How disconnected can our government be? You shouldn't even be talking about your employees. Your employees should be up 24/7. They should sleep in a cot when they need to. Do whatever you need to do. And she has spent this interview telling you how my employees, they're afraid.
Sure, we're getting help to the people who need it.
So this would be so.
Man, makes me hot. Makes me extremely hot. Watching that woman, I can't believe how obtuse could you possibly be to go on a television show and talk about your employees. Like they're the victims. Hey man, we're trying to help, but you're being mean, and that big mean guy keeps tweeting, and oh my God, that guy Elon, you should see what he said on Twitter. Ooh, my feels. Seriously? That you might not want to send them up to the mountains. I'm just saying.
Barry.
If their feelings got hurt because of a tweet or something that Donald Trump said, those might not be the employees that you want to send up to the mountains. I'm just saying. They may not come back. Or they may just leave. I just want y'all to think about that. You just put yourself in that position where you haven't eaten, your wife hasn't eaten, your kids haven't eaten, your dog, you don't even know where it is. Your grandma hasn't eaten. They've been eating leaves or whatever. And this woman's telling you, my employees are in fear. The danger, oh my God, of tweets and stuff. Is that what would you do if they showed up to your house? Sir, are you
insane.
okay? Because please don't yell at me.
This is insane.
You got any packages? You got any water or food? No? Then get the hell off my porch. Or what's left of my porch. Like the cop said, don't F-A and F-O. These aren't the people you want to have, hairbun boy heading up to someone's ranch or what's left of their ranch telling them, hi, I'm from the government, I'm really to help, but just don't yell at me. Are you really going to do that? I mean, those of you who have been to the mountains, you know what I mean. You can't send these soy drinking beta boys up into the mountains and have them tell people, please calm down. Don't be mad at me. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh, it's icky. It's muddy. We are in big trouble. Whatever they've done to the government, I don't know how, when Trump gets elected, he's going to fix this. It's deep entrenched with nothing but soy and cockroaches and corruption to the point where they can't even mobilize because they're afraid of the danger they might face up in the mountains. Those aren't people coming to save you. Those aren't the people that you're feeling good about. Come on, let's do this. Let's get this mud and muck out of the... Where'd you go, man? I need a break. Oh, think I'm lying? Well, today we find out that some of the FEMA people complained because they had to work the weekend. Basically they checked out yesterday or Friday at 5 p.m. and nobody's seen them because we don't work weekends. I kid you not. I kid you not. That's what hit today, where people were looking for FEMA people, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't work Saturdays and Sundays. I'll see you tomorrow."
Yo, well, I'm about to look that up.
Our government is screwed. Our government is FUBAR. If you don't know what FUBAR, go ahead and look that up. Right now, we need the government's help, and the government can't do it. And on top of that, they won't bring in actual men, women, soldiers that are willing to get dirty and get the stuff fixed up. Further proof. Listen to this young lady who lives up there.
So super cool if that was true, but it's not. It's actually the point of why I made that video. Local news is saying 60, 70 dead in our county, but if you walk up to any first responder or law enforcement officer and say, "Is there any update on the death toll?" I don't even want to say the number, because I've done it. And so is every other local here, because we're genuinely concerned and have been fed up with our local news for not covering it the way that they should.
Local? How about national? How many times have you heard, "Oh, there's only just 200 people. 200 people are dead so far." And every time you talk to somebody who lives up there, and they're like, "Not even close." We all know. They all know. They're walking around. They're seeing the dead piled up. They're watching them being taken to fake makeshift facilities.
There are hundreds and hundreds dead. And there are some places that they've not even started searching for the bodies because the mudslides are too thick to get through.
I said that last week, a couple days ago. I'm like, if you've never seen a mudslide and the mud can be like 6, 7 feet deep, you can't even begin searching until you start digging. So how do you know who's dead? It's smelling mighty good up there too, probably right about now.
There are some houses that are still buried under the river. They have ordered cold trailers to our town to keep the bodies. Does that sound like 200 bodies to you? Does that sound like 200 bodies? We're not some tiny little town. Asheville has a large hospital and multiple morgues. So I will say it again, and I will continue to say it. There are hundreds and hundreds dead, and there are thousands missing. If you want to believe one little man behind a screen with a microphone instead of believing our entire community, please feel free to do so. You're not here, you're not helping.
That young lady said more than any of the newscasts that you're watching every single night. Hopefully not watching. They have just basically shut these people off, and that's also why they're pissed off with Elon Musk. They figured these people don't have any communication. There's no way for them to take pictures or post videos or do anything. They can't go on TikTok. Oh, so they're done. And Trump talks to Elon. Elon drops a bunch of Starlinks in there. Ivanka, she goes and starts transporting them with her jet. By the way, they don't show that on television either. She's not going to make a whole lot of noise. But did you know that Ivanka was one of the people delivering these Starlinks? Let me see if I can find that picture. I don't even know if I... because they haven't talked about it. Ivanka Starlink. In her jet. Her little cute little jet. Oh, yeah, here we go. See that blonde back there with the sunglasses? Oh, that blonde back there with the sunglasses? That's none other than Ivanka Trump. Right there. And she's delivering Starlink. Every one of those boxes is a Starlink. And that's her jet. And there she is standing there. I'm sure you probably haven't seen this on the news, have you? Haven't seen Ivanka Trump actually out there with the Cajun Navy delivering Starlink. They don't tell you about that.
The Cajun Navy.
I'll pause there because I just wonder how many of y'all even knew that she was taking her jet. I didn't even know she had her own personal jet, but it makes sense. Her nice little cute jet and flying Starlink. Wasn't it Georgia had thousands of black grave liners during Obama? Yeah, exactly. The Trumps are humanitarians. Absolutely. You're right. Kamala is delivering pain and suffering and going on porn podcasts.
Which I
While
was
this was all happening, she
react
went to a fundraiser, as you
But
know,
we might just
and
do it
also
right here.
did a interview on a porn-style podcast. Yeah, way to go, Ivanka. Yeah, these are the type of things where people don't really talk about it. They just do it. Just get up there and do it. Here's someone got all the money in the world, don't need it, lives in a gazillion-dollar property down here in Miami. Beautiful property. There's no reason she has to leave her comfy home and her comfy life to go deliver Starlinks that Elon sent up there. But she did. Doesn't need the news. Not going to tell anybody. Just going to do it. People need it. This is the government our founders warned us about. Absolutely. Mainstream media, enemy of the people. Yeah. Somebody asked, isn't Fort Bragg close to Asheville? Depends on what you determine as close. Fort Bragg, which they've redubbed Fort Liberty, is in Fayetteville, which is on the east side of the state. This is Western Carolina, up in the mountains. So it's by car, it's a couple hours. By jet or C-130, if they could land one in there, it's probably less than an hour. So it's not that far per se in terms of being able to get there, depending how they would fly. Let's see. Where's Tay-Tay with her private jets? Yeah, hey, good point. Where's Tyler? Not Tyler. Taylor Swift with her private jets? Nope. George Clooney? Nope. Obama? Nope. Nothing. Nothing at all. They're just nowhere around. Trump has wonderful children. Yeah. Fayetteville. Ashley, how far is Fayetteville from Asheville? Roughly 6 hours by car. But so you can probably get there in a 2-hour stint, probably. Yeah, you can. Am I serious about? Yeah, Kamala went on a podcast, and the podcast is called "Call Me Daddy." And in that podcast, they were talking about the best way to do fellatio. Is that, yeah? Can I say that word? Yeah, that's scientific enough. How to do fellatio correctly. Tua. That's what they were.
Like.
That's what they're known for. Talking about different things.
She's like the original.
Call Me Daddy.
Hot Tua girl.
That's
now,
where
right?
she decided to go on. Tomorrow
Boom,
she's going on
roasted,
Howard Stern.
allegedly.
And then she's going to go on Stephen Colbert. She got out of Asheville as fast as she could possibly get out. I got to get out of here, man. This is dirty and stinky and icky and dead people. I can't be up here. Not with my $70,000 necklace. Ashley, who used to live in Fayetteville, says it's about 5 hours. That's by driving time. So in any event, if they were going to do a convoy, they could get there in about 5 or 6 hours. If they're going to fly and they had someplace to land, they could get there in a much shorter time. Speaking of like people in the military, here's somebody who's actually been in the military.
Hey guys, so I know I do a lot of like fun and like happy videos or whatever all the time.
I'm gonna leave a link for that.
So I'm here in
FEMA.gov.
Boone, North Carolina. I'm at the staging area. I volunteered myself and my canines to come up and do some search and rescue efforts. Here's the situation. Okay.
All right, so here's a woman who was in the Coast Guard. She has military training, and right now she has canine units, canines that can go in and sniff out corpses.
Okay. FEMA is in the area, and we've been told that if we see any FEMA agents, like hightail it and go. So obviously you see all my equipment. So we've been told to just turn around and go the opposite direction, because what they're doing is they're confiscating everything. Like they would.
Oh, that's not happening. Why are these people with all this disinformation and misinformation? What do you mean people are confiscating stuff? Well, the people who are there are telling you they're confiscating stuff. But, George Slopadopoulos didn't tell me, and Jake Tapper didn't say it, and, Jen Psaki, they're saying you're lying. What? Has Jen Psaki, George, or Jake Tapper spoken to the people who actually live there?
Confiscate all of my gear, my car, my dogs, like literally everything. There are some people who have been tracking these FEMA agents and what they do with these supplies after, and these are people that are directly associated with the group that I'm volunteering with.
All right. So if you weren't pissed off in this first 30 minutes, you're about to get really pissed off because this is firsthand coming from somebody who's trying to work in the area.
And essentially what they're doing is they're taking these supplies to sanctuary areas for illegal migrants and giving it all to them.
And we just
Your
read
government
the FEMA
is
like
taking
.gov article,
supplies
or what's
and
on
certain
FEMA.gov.
stuff that people have sent there out of their pockets,
Stating
out of their
that they
closets,
don't
out
do
of their
that.
pantries.
I don't
And
know.
FEMA's like, you know what?
I
There's
don't
some
know.
newcomers that could really use this. There's some newcomers that are more deserving than these Americans up here. These white Americans, they'll be okay. They'll get over it. But, you know, these poor newcomers, they need stuff. They need stuff. We need to take care of them. Boy, I'm telling you, if I saw that and I lived up there, there'd be hell to pay. And I know some good old boys already did the job with one or two FEMA agents, which wasn't pretty hard to do because I'm sure the soy boys acquiesced very quickly when they were confronted. That's why if you're sending stuff up there, you don't have to use Samaritan's Purse like I am. Make sure you're getting it in the hands of someone who's actually going to disperse this to the people who are on the ground.
Yeah.
Don't send it to FEMA.
Because they
Just don't do
clearly
it.
They are
said
telling
in the
the
FEMA
locals here
thing
that
that
they
there
have
are
no more money,
scammers
that
out
they
there.
can't give them
That's
any money, they can't
crazy.
do anything. But
So,
as they come
shout the
through,